this sandwich I am making today became a bit of a hot topic in our office. It brought up the debate of what qualifies as a sandwich. Got a little heated because we got into hot dog territory. I did not know. Y'all get ready. Okay, so I got a question for the studio audience. Is a hot dog a sandwich, yes or no? Yeah. Ooh, okay, we gotta go. Okay. I'm getting a lot of no's. Okay, let me maybe broaden it a little bit. Is a sausage a sandwich? Yeah. Okay, that was interesting. Not unexpected, but interesting. We got a little bit more on the yes for sausage, maybe. That's kind of what I was hearing. Personally, and I know this is gonna get me a little bit of flack, I kind of feel like both kind of sort of lean towards sandwich. I mean, there's two pieces of bread. There's, well, kind of one piece hinged, kind of like a submarine sandwich with something delicious in the middle. I feel like we could get there, but honestly, don't hate. It's totally cool. But today I wanted to show you how to make something that is, in my opinion, definitively a sausage sandwich, okay? Are we with me? We feel good? Okay. Honestly, I thought we were gonna get a bunch of people being like, I'm leaving, I'm going home. Yeah. All right, okay, so we are gonna get to work on my sausage sandwich. This is a really tasty thing. I actually had this at my friend Mal's house. Her husband made them, and they were absolutely delicious. He can take down a sandwich, and I'm not joking, 15 seconds. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. I was still like getting it to my mouth, and his was gone. So it's a tasty sandwich. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. But the first thing I wanna start out on with this is that kind of like pepper and onion situation that you like so much when you get a sausage. Classic sausage or a classic sausage sandwich. So I have got some yellow onions here, as well as some red bell peppers. Now I'm just gonna thinly slice these. I like to go thin because it does cook up quicker. If you like it a little bit more chunky, you do you. But I like just doing it kind of like in those little half moons. Now, when you're talking onions, I love a yellow onion. A, they are inexpensive, which is an absolute dream. And B, they last a really long time. They're drier onions, so you can keep them in your pantry in a dark kind of spot. They taste the most like an onion when you cook them, which to me is what it should be doing anyway, so we're doing it. Okay, I'm just gonna cut up one. For this recipe, typically I would cut up two. The onion is looking great, but now I'm also gonna cut up the peppers. So for the peppers, I'm using a red bell pepper. If you wanted to, you could do green, you could do yellow, you could do orange, you could do those weird purple ones that are actually green on the inside, whatever you want. I like a red bell pepper because I find they're sweeter, which is absolutely wonderful. Now, this is a tip if you wanna get all those seeds out. Kind of go down at an angle, kind of like this, and then turn your knife, almost like you're filleting a fish, which sounds scary, and then just kind of roll your pepper along as you go. Guys, I was not even planning on doing this, and I feel like I'm blowing people's minds, so that was pretty good. All right, now you can obviously cut off the bottom as well, and again, I'm gonna thinly slice this pepper up. Another tip when you are cutting peppers, always cut from the inside toward the skin, because if you're cutting from the outside, you have to bust through that skin. It's a little bit harder, but if you go from the inside, it's a lot easier. Even if you've got maybe not the sharpest knives in the kitchen, that's gonna work perfectly. It's gonna be beautiful. So just run your knife through, cut up your peppers nice and thin. That is looking fantastic. I'm gonna add these now into my pan. I've got a pan over here, over about medium heat. I'm gonna go in with these delicious peppers and onions, as well as a little bit of oil. So I'm going in with just some olive oil, maybe about a tablespoon or so, just to get things moving a little bit. Then I'm gonna season that up with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper as well. Typically what I would do if I wanted like a sweeter onion and a crispier pepper is I'd actually start the onions first, let them go for about 5 minutes, then add in the peppers, and then let that go for maybe 15, just until it's nice, soft, and jammy, but not overcooked. You still want them to have a little bit of bite. So you just wanna cook those down until they're nice and delish. Then, once they've cooked for about that 15-minute mark, you're gonna get something that is kind of jammy and delicious like this, looking absolutely beautiful. So now into there, I'm gonna go in with some garlic. I wanna build those sugars and cook things down before I add the garlic, because garlic tends to burn a little bit quicker. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic here, just minced up, going right on in. Now, into there for a little bit of smokiness. Since we're not grilling this sausage, I still want that smoke. I'm going in with about half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Smoked paprika tastes like a barbecue in a jar. It's a very good thing. So just toss that right on in, maybe about half a teaspoon. And then for a little bit of heat, because I like heat, some chili flakes. You can totally leave this out. You can use a mild sausage, but we like spicy in our house. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday, I was cooking with a pepper and I touched my eye. Do not recommend. So I looked like a pirate all last night. It was a look, it was fine, yeah. Give that a good mix together, and you just wanna let that go for about a minute. Once that's doing its thing and it's kinda come up a bit, we wanna deglaze that pan really to make things get to know each other. So for that, I'm reaching for my good friend beer. So, give it a little crack. You wanna use a light flavored beer here, something like a lager, maybe a Pilsner, something like that. And you'll need to eat about a quarter cup, maybe a half a cup just to deglaze, which so means this is now your little snack. So you get to have a little beer while you're making dinner, because you don't wanna waste things, obviously. All right, give that a stir. I'm gonna let that beer simmer away. You want it to reduce completely. That cooks off the alcohol, gets everything delicious. Now, I am gonna move on to the world of the sausage. So we got the peppers and onions, everything's done. Then right here, we have got those sausages. So I've got 4 Italian links here. These are spicy, because again, we like heat in my house, but if you wanted, you could go with mild. So what I like to do, and this is what my buddy's, or my friend's husband did, is he actually kind of splits the sausage in half. Just give it a little bit of a slit. And then what you wanna do is actually grab that sausage and kind of open it out. So you've got that little bit more surface area. That's gonna give you some golden brown. I like keeping the skin on, because that's gonna give you a really nice kind of crisp, you know, that kind of snap that you get with a sausage. So I've got that guy good to go. And then I've got a pan over here. You could add a little oil, but this is gonna release some fat, so you're good to go. Pop that in. You wanna hear that sizzle. Since this is meat though, it does tend to shrink up a little bit. But all that's gonna happen there, now you get to have 2 sausages on your sausage sandwich, which is a delight. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of these split, pop them in the pan, let them cook down, get golden brown on both sides. So I've got some provolone. Now, if you wanted to, for a little bit more smoky flavor, obviously go with a smoked provolone. You just wanna use something that's got a good meltiness to it. Mozzarella on here would be delicious as well. Fontina would be like stringy cheese city. What a treat. But I'm just gonna pop about 2 slices of cheese on each little sausage, because I want this to melt over top. Now, this is a trick. If you've ever watched one of those shows where like somebody goes to like a diner and then they talk about the really good food that they make, and they usually, when they're making a burger or cheeseburger, they cover it up to melt the cheese. Maybe you do it on your barbecue as well. You'll close the lid to melt the cheese. So this is a way to do it when you're in the house. So what you wanna do, pop the cheese on, hide everything, you're good to go. But a trick that they might not tell you is to melt the cheese on top, not just the stuff that's kind of melting down and touching the pan. You wanna add a little bit of steam into here and then cover it up. That steam is gonna melt the cheese, but help it from kind of splitting in a weird way. So just add a tiny touch of water. You could also do this with a little bit of that beer. Just a little bit right into the side. And then you wanna pop a lid on. Now, I don't have a lid, so we're using a pizza pan, but that's all good. Honestly, whatever is gonna kind of sort of trap that steam in there, that's gonna work around, kind of come up and melt the cheese from the top, not just the bottom. So it's gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna let that do its thing, hopefully. We're gonna have melty cheese when we visit it again. But now we're gonna talk about the bun. So as opposed to using just a classic sausage bun or something like that, I like using a Portuguese bun. I love these things. You can always get like packs of like 87 at the grocery store. They're always like at the door for some reason, and you're like, yes, I need Portuguese buns, and I need this many. They're really tasty. They're nice and crusty. They've got a delicious chewy center. So I've split them, just kind of like a normal sandwich I would. If you wanted, you could leave the hinge there, but I'm going kind of whole hog. And then onto there, I'm going on with some mustard. I can't have a sausage without a little bit of mustard. So I'm going on with some Dijon. If you wanted to do grainy Dijon, go for it. If you just wanted yellow mustard, I would not be mad at that. I love yellow mustard. I know I never use it, but I eat it at home all the time. It's so good. And then also we've got just some pickle. If you wanna use like an antipasto, if you wanna use chilies and oil, really whatever you think will taste good on your sausage. I've got some right here. It's nice and chopped. There's some pickly stuff going on in there, some onion, some deliciousness, a little bit of peppers, some olives. Pop that right on, give it a good spread. This is where it becomes a sandwich, because we're layering. You know what I mean? Yeah. One thing on there, like a plain hot dog, maybe not a sandwich. A hot dog with stuff on it, kind of a sandwich. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Now over here, we've got those sausages with that cheese all melting. I'm gonna take a peek, let's see. Oh my gosh, guys, get ready, it's so good. Look at that cheese. Look at that absolute treat. This is what I love. There was this restaurant in Puslinch, Ontario that did this burger where like you couldn't even find the burger for the cheese. What a delight. So I'm gonna grab these little sausages with that crispy little skirt of cheese all the way around and just transfer that right onto my bun. Pop it on. Don't forget any of that crispy, delicious cheese. That's gonna be absolutely amazing. And then we can't forget about those amazing peppers and onions we did. Just grab some of those, pop those right on there as well. Few more peppers. And this is a feast. No matter the time of year, no matter anything, I am gonna do something that I think really makes this into a sandwich, and that is cut it in half. That's where you're like, no, this is a sandwich, it's okay. And oh, the cheese. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm digging in, because I deserve a sandwich. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Guys, that crispy, cheesy, what did I let you gotta make it? Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.